Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Cody. The assignment was to choose a life-changing event that helped shape you and mold you into the person that you were today. So I thought long and hard about this. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to pick. That would be when I got my GED diploma. Um, and you got to look back at the time of my life of what was going on. I was 18 years old. I still lived in my hometown, which was Dover, Delaware. I knew all the same people. Everybody kind of knew each other at the time. I was very comfortable with where I was at. Um, but my parents wanted to move around DC. My stepfather, he had a job in DC. He was commuting long ways. And so in the middle of my senior year, halfway through, right after Christmas of 2011, they decided, you know what, we're just going to pack up. We're going to move right outside of DC. We've been waiting for this for a long time. I didn't want to put up a lot of a fight with it because it was the better thing to do for our family. So, we moved to Maryland, and it was all right. But the problem was when I moved to Maryland, um, when I transferred my high school credits to the Maryland Board of Education, they didn't accept a lot of my high school credits. And this was the time of my life where I wasn't taking school really seriously. Junior year kind of swung up at me, kind of around the corner, and then I started taking my grades seriously and started looking at colleges that I wanted to go to, and things that I really wanted to do. And so the problem with Maryland that they had was I had A days and B days, and I went to a college prep school. It was a charter school. And we had what was called humanities. A days, we had humanities as social studies. B days was grammar and composition and rhetoric. They didn't recognize the differences between those and couldn't count them as both. So they said, look, you either have to do all of this, all of your social studies, or all of your grammar classes again. And there was a few math classes I didn't take. This was devastating to me, guys, because I had I had a math class and a gym class left, and then I was done. I had my diploma, and I was out of there, and I was ready to go. Um, so it was tough because here I am. I just moved to this whole new town with nobody that I know at all. Absolutely nobody. With no barely any education. And I'm an hour and a half, 2 hours away from everybody that I do know. It was a very dark time of my life, and this was before I was saved. Even though it's not required for this event, but that made things harder as well. Um, but like I said, I had a dead end job. I got a job at a pizza place, and I was just working there. And I decided, look, I'm going to get my GED. Around that time, I got saved, and I really wanted to go to Liberty University residentially. I said, I'm going to get my GED. I'm going to go to Liberty University, and I'm going to change my life around before things get really sour for me. And so that's what I did. So I still remember it like it was yesterday, guys. I remember waking up. I would go to this community library, and I rented out a GED study guide. It was like a phone book. It was about this thick. Couldn't stand it, and I studied as much as I could. And from 4 to 9, I believe, I went to the pizza place and I cooked pizza, and I did that every day for 6 months. And why that molded me and shaped me, and eventually I got my GED and I got a really good score on it, and Liberty still accepted me residentially at the time, and I was super happy. Um, but why that molded me, guys, was because at the time I was still a kid and I was still young, and my priorities were with friends, girlfriends, cars, material things, and not the longevity of life and responsibilities. And at that moment in my life, my parents couldn't help me out, my friends couldn't help me out. I couldn't just I couldn't just leave and take a break and come back and things be better later on in the week. No, I actually had to man up. I had to take responsibility, and I had to do this for myself, and I had to tell myself that I could do it. And I also had to be disciplined with it. I'd be disciplined in the fact that I had to tell myself this is what I want to do, this is where I'm going to be, and this is how I'm going to do it too. And just doing that and proving myself that I could do that at that time dramatically changed my life, guys. I believe, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I believe we can put whatever we put our minds to. If we just discipline ourselves, we give God the glory, and we stay humble. I always tell people I'm assistant manager at a retail store now, and I'm studying and I'm slowly paying off debt in school. But I tell people, I tell them to work hard, stay humble, and dream big. That sounds kind of goofy, and give God glory if they're Christians, um, because that's what it goes down to is putting yourself on a scale of where do you think you're going to be and the person that you are and following through with it. And so I followed through with it. It completely changed my life. I'm currently pursuing my business degree, and I'm going to have my own business hopefully within 2 or 3 years once I get my degree. And I am so excited. And that is all not me, guys. That's all God working through me and just putting in the hard work and putting in the discipline and giving God the glory for it. Amen. So, all right, guys. Well, it's been good. It was nice meeting you all, and I hope you guys have a great week.